Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we are looking at Unity. Why? Well, because Unity 6.5 just released today. And one thing we're going to do is we're going to start things out and pour one out for our homie Burp. What is Burp? Burp is the built-in render pipeline. This is the OG pipeline before they decided that they should have programmable pipelines. And the thing is, it is... what's this little checkbox down here? Yes, it is deprecated. They have shut it down. And in fact, if you're starting a title today, you should probably also ignore this one here, the HDRP, because they're pretty much consolidating everything back to a single pipeline again, and it is the universal render pipeline that won. But what we've got now is a notice of deprecation, and this starts with Unity 6.5. So 6.5 and beyond, so 6, 6, 6, 7, and so on, built-in render pipeline is marked as deprecated. It will continue to receive support until 6.7. When are they going to remove it? Well, we don't actually know. If you want to learn a little bit more, there's actually a render pipeline strategy here. Kind of a guideline of where they're going. The key thing about the 6.5 release, though, is this is where the built-in goes away. Now, there are a lot of titles still being built on the built-in render pipeline, and there's a lot of assets for it. So this is going to probably be more of a pain point to get rid of than HDRP, in my opinion. Although, if you are starting a title today, by all means, you should be using the universal render pipeline and not the built-in render pipeline. Now, this is where they are starting the deprecation process. Now, that doesn't actually mean a whole lot. It's one of those things to be aware of. It is being deprecated, but it's still going to be supported for at least 2 more versions. But you do know it is going away. Deprecated doesn't necessarily mean they won't fix it if there's a bug or something like that. But I wouldn't expect any new features, any development on it at all, unless it was a mission-critical bug. By the way, what you see in front of you, this is a free asset. If you watch my free Game Dev Assets video from earlier this morning, this is the one that you can get completely for free in the bundle for Unity over on Bundle Stars, the Ultimate Bundle. You're going to notice here, free tier, House on the Hill. Now, the thing is, we're actually going to be demonstrating lights here, so instead I'm going to load up this one, the Cyberpunk City, because we need lots of lights. And sadly, this example actually only has a single light in it. So here we are in an environment with a bunch more lights. Again, another part of that bundle. If you're interested, the links are down below. But the reason why we needed lots of lights, such as this light down here, is new feature over here. Probably the biggest front-facing feature here. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes in 6.5, but the thing we've got going on now is under rendering, in addition to the Light Explorer, we now have Light Search. Now, this builds on top of all of the existing search functionality they've been adding recently, and this is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a way to search all the various different lights in your scene. And then once you locate said lights, you can actually go ahead and change all kinds of values for them, as you can see. So again, we can turn shadowing on, off, quality values, and so on. Now, there's a lot more advanced options here. So if I wanted to drill down over here, you can see I got a number of pre-set up searches for you. You can also switch it out so you can do a search using this query language like so. And you can also do tab over here to do filtering, so like that. But I can come back over here, I could do advanced search. So say I wanted to get all of the lights that are of type point. So we see points right here, I'll just do point lights. And then we now have only the point lights. And then with the results here, I can go ahead and select, let's just do it brute force. I can do all of them. And let's just jack the intensity up to 11. So there, boom, you can see quick results. So if you're working with lights, you can quickly drill down and find one immediately. On top of that, it goes beyond lights. You also have the ability to find all of the emissive materials in the scene, for example. So here are all the various different emissive materials and values you can change for them. By the way, you can configure which columns to show as are relevant. You can also get all of the various different volumes, reflection probes, and so on. And you can save your own things here as well. So it's a nice, quick way to search through all of your lights, make changes, and so on. So if you have a scene with a lot of lights like this one, it could be a bit of a godsend for you. Now, on top of that, we also have, this one's little, but I like it. What they've done here is we go over to the package manager like so. You're going to notice there is a new category here of all samples. So let's say I went to the Unity registry and I went to the universal render pipeline like so. What you're going to find is there is the samples tab, and there's the samples are hidden over here. Well, what they've done is they consolidated all of the samples together. So here you can go, and then we can find the universal render pipeline samples are there. It's just a quick way to find the various different samples in a single access point. Now, there's been a number of changes behind the scenes as well. Let's go take a look from the highlights here. We're not going to go through things line by line, but we're going to focus on some of the things, especially in the world of 2D. 2D got some nice love here, including the ability to create custom lights. The example they show is like creating a triangular light. Only takes a handful of lines of code. Also, custom 2D shadowings. This is all code driven, by the way, but allows you to render sprites without the overhead of game objects while working with 2D lights, sprite masks, and the SRP batcher. Then we got some performance things going on there now. The 2D module in the profile window has been improved to provide data on sprite rendering counts, which sprite atlases are used, and so on. They've also introduced entity ID tiles to improve the performance of setting tiles on a tile map. We also have the new blend shapes API for sprites, so you can do freeform formation, I can't speak today, based sprites. So if you're not doing bone-based approach, you could use this, like, say, if you're animating a blob, you want to do a stretch, that kind of stuff. Blend shapes should make that possible. So definitely some nice love in the world of 2D. And they've also, this is a bit of a refactor and change here, but they now have a built-in physics core for 2D called Physics Core 2D. This was a rebrand of another project. I forget exactly what it was called, but it's also got a couple new improvements to the way that physics are actually enabled there. We're also making slow progress towards CoreCLR. That would be, modern C# in Unity. Truth of the matter here, most of the stuff you've seen is behind the scenes. The big change is going to come in 6.7. So if you're waiting on CLR, this isn't the release for you. Some things have been updated to make CLR work a bit better and to port the editor towards using CoreCLR itself. But CoreCLR, the big money stuff, it's coming in a bit later of release. We also have, for working with graph templates, there is a new From Template menu available on decal projectors and full screen renderer features. Makes it easy to create things literally from a template. Some improvements over to the shader graph switching nodes, shader graph reflection API, a new shader function. Reflection API allows programmers and technical artists to write custom shader functions in HLSL files and see them automatically reflected and exposed in the shader graph, meaning you no longer have to manually adjust the node topology to match the function signatures, and you're less limited in how a function should be defined. And then we've got some optimizations in the 3D front. To ensure smooth gameplay, recommend using PSO or pipeline state object tracing and caching to minimize the shader compilation performance issues. Building upon previous introductions of PSO tracing and pre-caching, Unity 6.5 elevates the workflow. Caching tracing will address any gaps in the PSO collection, helping you build a more robust cache. Editor UI has been refined to enable codeless and automatic tracing, warming, and inspection of pipeline state objects. VFX graphs also improve a new API to pre-warm the compute shaders. Now, the big thing here is this one, though. So when we're moving towards Universal Render Pipeline as the one true pipeline to rule them all, the big focus before in the past was the URP was being used for mobile focus titles or less hardware or less beefy versions. Well, now they're actually making some performance improvements. So if you are working on mobile, you should get better performance out of this. So on-tile post-processing in Unity 6 makes supported mobile post-processing effects more practical by running them directly on the GPU tile in a single pass. Effects such as HDR, tone mapping, color grading, vignette no longer need the same costly round trip through system memory, which can reduce bandwidth usage on Vulkan and Metal devices. For players, this can mean smoother performance, lower battery drain, and less thermal throttle during longer sessions. So if you are developing a mobile title, this is lovely news. Then we go on, light search. We looked at this earlier on. This builds on their existing search system. So the Unity search framework gives you the ability to go through all the lights in your scene quickly and easily. Enhanced authoring and graph customization in the graph toolkit on the code side. So in 6.5, introduced advanced capabilities such as the ability to create and manipulate graphs programmatically, enabling deeper integration with your workflows. Data model is also more flexible and will support for untyped variables and collections. On the visual side, you have more control to define how your graphs look and feel with customizable icons, colors, and styling for your data type. UI, UGUI, usability and API programs. I think they're just basically trying to, they made the mistake a while back of saying UGUI was going away, and now they're just trying to say, no, it's not. It's staying around. So even if you, so UI Toolkit is the future where they're going there, but they've definitely made a commitment to keep UGUI going. So they're doing some improvements there and so on. Then we've got, if you're developing for the Apple platforms, your template, the behind the scenes thing that is used to interface with the native OS has been ported over to Switch project type. So experimental support for the Switch project type, which I accidentally clipped. But if you want, so this would be all using, see if I can get back. I can't. All right. That will go ahead and use the Swift programming language as opposed to Objective-C, modern update, and so on. Also have some improvements on Android devices. And then you see the average across, I've never really seen this done this way, but they've taken the Google 6A, S22, and S25, and then performance tested them all and then averaged them together is the way I read this. But more or less what you can see is a 1 to 6.5% improvement in speed, which is good. So I think this was actually on startup time that ultimately gets improved here for performance. But, more performance is always a nice thing. Easier to adapt to multiple screen configurations. WebAssembly 2023 is now on by default. And then, that's basically it. We also, again, have the package manager samples view all consolidated together in one spot. We saw that earlier on. And that is Unity 6.5. I'm curious, what do you think of it? Again, this is the beginning of this. So the pipelines are slowly merging back to one. And the big thing here is the burp, or the built-in render pipeline, is now officially marked as deprecated. At the end of the day, that doesn't technically mean anything. They haven't changed anything. It just, they're warning you this is going away. And 6.5 is where they officially gave you that first warning. So if you're starting a project today, don't use burp, use the ERP. That's basically the idea behind it. By the way, if you're interested in picking up that free asset, it is available here. Also, a full bundle of environments right here if you want to go ahead and check those one out. If you use my link below, it does help support me, and I appreciate you very, very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Unity 6.5. What do you think? Let me know. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.